Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream training, 3 unconventional audience growth strategies that are working right now. I'm really glad that you're here with me. I'm going to take the next 15, 20 minutes to really dive in to some of the big challenges that entrepreneurs and content creators like you may be experiencing right now, give some insight into why you're experiencing them, and really lay out some unconventional strategies to help you grow a lucrative audience for your business in 2022. So, this is going to be particularly relevant for you if you are a founder, you have a small business, and you are actively involved in creating content and thought leadership pieces that may be taking a lot of time, are really high quality, but aren't getting you enough traction. So you may find that you're spending hours per week creating and producing podcasts, but you're not really growing your audience. And the most important thing is that they're really not producing clients for you. You could be blogging consistently and you're not getting any traction. You might be posting on social media on an ongoing basis and really finding that you might be getting some engagement, you might be getting some likes, but it's not actually giving you an ROI in terms of customers, clients, and kind of the growth of your business. So if that's you, you are absolutely in the right place. And I think the key thing that you know if your content is ineffective, it's that your sales aren't growing. It's just not driving sales for your business. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Eleanor Beaton. I am the founder of a company called Safi Media. Safi Media is a media coaching and education company for women entrepreneurs. Our vision is to advance a model of economic growth that nourishes the planet one woman-owned business at a time. And our mission, the proof point, is that we are working collectively to double the number of women founders who sustainably scale past $1 million in annual revenue by 2030. That's a big mission. We can't do it alone. So we provide a ton of free, high-value educational content like this for our community. Work with us to really uplift other female founders. If you find value from this training, I really encourage you to share it. Just hit the share button and share this training with your network. So a little bit of context, because I think, that's key. I've been doing this work since 2003. So I started advising leaders and brands and entrepreneurs on marketing, messaging, and positioning in 2003. And since then, my advice and counsel has helped leaders, brands, and entrepreneurs drive hundreds of millions of revenue growth, job creation, export revenue over the course of that time. Since 2014, I have been advising women entrepreneurs on really building strong, lucrative brands that help them access customers globally, whether that's B2B or B2C. So I have been in this game for some time. I have seen under the hood of hundreds upon hundreds of women founders' businesses and really seen what are the things that work consistently, where are the fads, and most importantly, what are the key practical, concrete takeaways for you? So really, really happy to be in a position to share this knowledge and insight with you. And I hope that you get a lot of value out of our time here together. So let's kind of backtrack and really take a look at what you, as a woman founder, building your business in 2022 and continue to grow and scale your business in 2022, some of the things that you might be going through. So in general, small business owners, women, whether you are a coach, whether you are a consultant, whether you are a service provider and scaling on a mission to scale that business to multiple 6 and 7 figures, the reality is, if you've probably heard, look, you need to show up on social, you need to create high value content. Maybe you've been told you need to have a podcast, or you've considered that. Maybe you have been thinking that, you should be blogging or posting on social media, that kind of thing. What we're seeing is that as a small business owner, you're actually part of the creator economy. Okay. And so we refer to the creator economy as all the folks out there, present company included, who produce content that gets shared on blogs, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on social platforms, etc. The creator economy. And what we found is that you are probably spending anywhere from 1 to 5 hours per week creating your content and posting content. So that makes you an active member of the creative economy, and you're looking at trends. You're trying to do your best to create engaging content. You take the courses, you try to follow the rules, you look at what other people are doing. And there's just one problem, that for so many women founders, this is actually the unpaid labor economy. So you're creating a lot of content and it is absolutely not driving results. And the frustrating thing is that you may be creating content that adheres to the rules of what good content is, and it's still not creating results. But let's just take a minute and sort of step back and think about what this is costing you. So for many founders that we talk with who are in this, you're in that, you're doing anywhere from 100 to 300,000 per year in revenue. You're really looking at being ambitious and scaling past $1 million in revenue. Many of these women founders we are talking to are spending anywhere like from 5 hours, 2 to 5 hours per week creating content, whether that's short social posts or longer pieces that then team members may parse down into shorter social posts. So let's say around 5 hours a week, which honestly is conservative. Let's say at minimum, your time is worth a couple of $100 an hour, which for a high quality experienced coach or consultant, it absolutely is. That means that in the course of a week, if your content is not getting you ROI and driving sales and producing customers, you are flushing over $50,000 per year down the toilet. And I want you to think about what that money could be doing for your business. That money could help you hire a great team member. It could help you invest in stronger technology. It could help you join a really powerful mastermind. Like, there's so many things that you could do with that money, and we don't think about it because we have been so conditioned to produce all this content for free and not really know, is it actually driving revenue and results for us? So here's the thing, and I know that the frustration of that, and it also feels scary to stop doing it, like what will you do instead? And I definitely talk to female founders who experience that. But here's the thing that I'd like to share, even for those of you who have a strong platform and who have these, assets in place, you've built an audience, you're still not safe. Let's think about this. We're at a period of sort of peak content saturation. And what I mean by that is, even take a look at Netflix. Netflix, who in the first quarter of 2022 lost 200,000 subscribers and $40 billion loss in market value. So that was huge. What did this mean? It meant that even Meghan Markle, arguably one of the most famous women in the world, got her animated show deal that she had with Netflix cut. If Meghan Markle, one of the world's most famous women, doesn't have enough clout to be able to build an audience to support content, it puts a lot of context onto how so many women founders are feeling about content and are feeling about building an audience. Where does it leave you? And so I've definitely been hearing from women founders who are feeling concerned. They're confused about how they're going to build awareness in 2022. They feel that it was already hard to begin with, and how, now we're seeing that with many streaming services like CNN Plus going down in like 6 weeks, they're really concerned about how they are going to be building an audience. And I totally get it. And here's the challenge. Some of the old tips in and of themselves don't work. So, a few years ago, it was all about being super, super consistent. And While that's partly true, that's also partly what makes it dangerous, because if you are consistently practicing the wrong thing, like if you are consistently slamming your head against the wall, that consistency only gets you deeper and deeper into trouble. So that's what we're really trying to help you avoid. And the thing is, people out there, there are many people who are still making great revenue from content creation. We absolutely see this. I mean, ourselves, Safi Media, we've been doing this since 2014, creating content that drives, builds awareness, educates, does it, really advances our mission, but also drives really solid ROI. And we've been doing this across multiple platforms: podcasts, videos, email marketing, short form content, video content, audio content, private podcasts, public podcasts, online learning platforms, every single type of content creation you can imagine, we have absolutely done. We know exactly what works and what doesn't work. And we also know, what things are sort of consistent principles and what are things that are more timely that you need to really think about. And what I will say is that if you want to take this into more of an interactive learning experience with us, I really suggest that you sign up for an intensive, a learning intensive I'll be doing next week on Thursday. You can go to eleanorbeaton.com/scale, and we'll really be taking a deep dive into audience growth without sacrificing there as well. So let me walk you through, in this context, some of the most important timeless things that I have learned and principles that can be applied to anybody who is watching this training, principles that can be applied to really help you. So the first thing is really key, and this part gets missed a lot. So thing number one is you need to anchor your content into your selling strategy. It is not enough to create a high quality piece of thought leadership and just kind of put it out there. That is not enough, and this will make you broke. Okay. It's not only about creating high quality content. That is not the only thing, right? If it were, I wouldn't see so many intelligent writers and podcasters who are really struggling from a revenue perspective. The assumption that creating really great high quality content will turn into revenue is wrong, right? So the assumption that creating a really good piece of thought leadership content is going to naturally turn into revenue could not be more wrong. Now, on the other hand, you definitely want to be able to create high value thought leadership content, but that is simply the floor at this point. That simply gets you into the room, right? So that is the table stakes today. Used to be a lot different. It was a lot different even before the pandemic. In fact, one of our clients pointed out that Edelman, which is a big global PR firm, in their 2021 thought leadership study, they found that the glut of thought leadership and content that came onto the market during the pandemic actually diminished diluted the overall value of thought leadership generally. So it's not enough just to create high quality thought leadership. That is going to get you in the door, but it won't actually translate to revenue unless it is anchored into an overall revenue growth strategy. They must work together. And this is a part that people really miss. So not only can you absolutely not do poor content, because that 100%, like today more than ever, that will not work. The table stakes are that the content must be good. But in order to actually translate it into money, it must be linked to a revenue growth strategy, to a selling strategy. This is absolutely key. Now, never more than ever, right? So that's really, really key. The second thing, and P.S., I'm going to walk you through more specifics on how to do that at our masterclass next week. It's a 1-hour intensive that really looks on how to scale your audience without sacrifice. Go to eleanorbeaton.com/scale. So the second tip that I would suggest that's actually working now is stop trying to build a massive audience. Just stop trying to build a massive audience. And, it's fun being in my shoes because you really get to see, as I said, under the hood of people's businesses, of their approaches and everything. And here's what I would love to share with you. Having a huge audience does not necessarily translate into big revenue. And I've absolutely worked with and seen influencers and people who have, hundreds of thousands of followers, but are actually generating much less revenue than others who might have 500 people on their email database list, right? They, again, just like great thought leadership does not equate into great revenue, neither does a big audience equate to big revenue. Again, it's a mental model that is wrong that can really be holding you back from growing your audience in a way that is lucrative for your business, right? So that's really key. Stop trying to build a massive audience and instead really get to know your audience and start focusing and tailoring your material for your actual buyers. And we teach people how to uncover who those buyers are and scale dramatically, sales, particularly of programs and leveraged services in the Power Presence Position program. But I'm definitely going to get into it more in the webinar next week, eleanorbeaton.com/scale. And then the third thing that's really working, and it's so interesting, if you talk to some of the biggest names in the field of cold traffic, people like the Neil Patels of the world, one of the things that they always talk about is the power of partnerships, right? And how key those are. And here's the deal. Not all partnerships are created equal. And I would say one of the biggest things for founders, small business founders, is that very often your most effective partnerships are not the people you are partnering with right now. They are not other small business owners necessarily. What I really encourage people to do is to go really take a swing for the fences and go after bigger partners, bigger corporate partners. And I can remember like when you case study after case study, and this is certainly something we've experienced, partnering with large entities who literally have tens of thousands of customers in your target base. And when you partner with an organization like that, they can drive thousands of qualified people. And you're not trying, it's so interesting because it's one partnership. You're not like showing up trying to, how do I talk to thousands of people at once? You talk to one right partner at once, and they can actually really help you get in front of audiences that you didn't think would be possible for you. So these are really three core things. Number one, anchor your content into your selling strategy. And this is every bit as important as creating high quality content. Number two, stop actually trying to build a massive audience and instead really key in, really learn how to niche down your audience and really identify who inside this audience is actually a valuable buyer and how can I be more and more focused on them and release the others. And then the third is to forge effective partnerships with big partners. And I see a lot of small business owners really staying stuck in their small business owner box. And it's a comfortable place to be, but it's not what's going to really allow you to grow, get your message in front of the right people, and grow your business and ultimately scale without sacrifice. I really hope you found this useful. Please go ahead and share it if you thought the insight that we delivered here is going to help other founders in your network. Again, we cannot accomplish our mission of doubling the number of women founders who sustainably scale past 7 figures alone. We need your help, and together we can uplift all the women entrepreneurs, that we know in our networks. So please feel free to share this with someone that you think might benefit or tag them in the comments. And again, for an in-depth intensive on how to scale awareness and audience and brand without sacrifice, I encourage you to go to eleanorbeaton.com/scale. All right. Thanks so much, everyone. It was great to have you here.